All right, we're back. More Citizen Sleeper. We've just dealt with Bliss's thing, so now we will carry on the next day. Carry on through. Let's roll all those. Yeah, there we go. That's much better. What's the hunter up here? Keynode. Four. Yeah, let's just unlock some of these. Let's unlock all of these. Oh, killer. A glint, like a light traveling along the edge of the wave, fills your eyes. And then the blade follows. A long head with two dead sockets slipping towards you in silence. You freeze, hoping it will pass you by, hoping that it will not simply slice through you like air. The blade head nears, trying to pass you, almost. It nicks you, grazes you. You're desperate to cry out, to call out. But you hold your silence and simply watch the blind eyes of the killer glide past, empty of all thought. And then the blade winks into the dark and you're alone again. Now you cry out. Okay. No, that's a keynode. I don't need another key. Could grab you. And what I ought to do is just grab some of this cryo. Some of the stabilizer here. Just so we have it. Got a bit of energy. Let's cook. So scrap fate is going to take a while. Sure, let's get the apartment finally made. Feed a stray. There's a stray animal that's been nosing around near the unit. A handful of chips for some crackers should bring it out of hiding. Sure. The stray hops up onto a work surface and looks out of the unit's small window. It doesn't acknowledge your presence. It just sits there beside the tray of crumbled crackers, staring out at the low end. What's this cat's story? Are there more in the station? You haven't seen another in the low end, but this vast megastructure that means little. There could be a whole colony of cats like this down in the Warrens. You look at its sleek, dark fur and sharp eyes. It doesn't look ragged, it looks at home. In fact, its presence in the unit makes you wonder if this is Stray's apartment, which you're squatting in. As the Stray is looking out at the station, you feel its attention on you, waiting for you to spring your trap. Remain relaxed and watch as something flickers in its eye, perhaps a reflection of a passing ship. Stray settles a little and starts eating, picking at the broken crackers. You don't remember ever having been this close to an animal. It triggers something in you, a recognition of a life, totally unlike your own, somehow connected, parallel, even interwoven. Stray licks crumbs from its fur. Do you like it here? The Stray flicks their tail at the sound of your voice. It's hard to imagine the Stray liking anything, or at least being vulnerable enough to admit it. But the Stray's pleasure at existing here in this place shines through every sinew. It's not that the Stray is always happy on the eye, but the Stray is engaged by this place. Is alive here. You turn your eyes to the window, the one that the Stray looks out of, and you both watch the stars and the ships together. You feel something pass between you and the Stray, a kind of acknowledgement of each other. A sense that each of you might share something with the other. Point of connection. Then, all at once, the Stray yawns wide, hops down from the unit, and brushes along your legs, and then it is gone. Out through the unit door and out back into the corridors of the low end. Okay, so you can keep feeding the cat. Oh, hello. I didn't realize that was the reward. Yeah, I'll definitely take the stabilizer there. Oh, I didn't know that was the... That's an easy way of getting a ship mined. Oh, let's work on the Sidriel. Two upgrade points. Let's make stuff cheaper. End the cycle. Yeah, I mean, with this die set, the crew slowly filters out of the shipyard locker room, the bubbling chatter reducing with each group that leaves. There's excitement in the air. Okay. Stitch these together. Your crew slowly filters out of the shipyard locker room, the bubbling chatter reducing with each group that leaves. There's excitement in the air. Havenage just made an announcement. The assembly teams are done. Sat on the locker room bench, you can feel the Sidriel out there. Its hulking mass now intimately familiar to you. Over the past cycles, you've watched it grow, be assembled, walk through its veins and welded its bones. Now it's ready for the final stage. It will go to testing now, then enter a final process of sealing and resealing. Checking and rechecking before it's deemed suitable for its generational trip. But for now, your work is done. You can't help feel but proud. A cough interrupts your thoughts. It's Lem changing out of his work gear. Mina's nowhere to be seen. He smiles. Should be ready soon. Where's Mina? You two are fast friends, huh? She's being watched at home now. I'm on the work team. I can afford a bit more help. Was on the work team, I mean. We're all out of a job now, he adds quickly. Not that I'm complaining. Len comes to sit beside you on the bench. She's got to be in her best shape when she carries you, Mina, and me out of here. So confident? Why not? I figure I'm due a lucky turn by now. No use in wondering what if, till the draw anyway. And there's a few cycles till then. Lem is right, but the odds seem unlikely anyway. How many are working in the shipyard? Hundreds? 1,000? You certainly see more faces than you can count pass through. And are the Stellus Foundation even going to keep their promise? Out here on the Eye, you get the sense that no one will hold them to it. Why else would they? Building the Sidril and the surrogate system. As you think, Lem watches you with a worried look. How's Mina doing? She's doing well. She misses having you over, actually. I need to get you two together again. Especially now I won't see you here either. She's pretty stuck on you, actually. She told me the other cycle that she doesn't want you to go unless you can come too. You ever been in a thunderstorm, Sleeper? A real big one? I don't remember. Something else. The sound, the smell, the rain hammering down. The whole sky stretched out and bruised, roaring and huge. The place I was born, New Pembroke, a dry old rock in a Conway system, had 2 seasons. One of them was as dry as a bone, dusty, ugly. The other was one long storm. A side effect of the terraforming efforts, they said. Rain used to rattle off roofs like bullets. It washed the dust away, turned the streets to rivers. It'd sing us to sleep and wake us in the morning. We'd wait half a year just to see it again. The best day was the one where the first drops fell. Some days I wake up swearing I can hear it again. I was thinking, Mina has never seen a storm, never felt rain. She's grown up here. The ring, her only horizon. Always in the dark. I want to change that for her. Of course, almost there. Best get back to the little one anyway. With the shifts done, I reckon she'll be happy to see me home for a few cycles. See you in a few for the draw. I'll be there. Right on. Lem leaves, making you the last person in the cavernous locker room. As you sit, you think about the rain and a little hope creeps in. Is it possible? Could the Sidril really take you to a planet? A place with weather, with skies, with life? You get up quickly before you can think about it anymore. It's too soon to hope, too dangerous. There's work to be done. So the draw is in 6 days. Oh, it's moving. And the Sidril draw is in 3 days. Okay. There I can play the exchange, so that gives me plus 19. Plus 15. Noodle manufacture just gets me energy. Like, seems good. And the tea house, that can get me up to 24. Good amount of cryo there. Let's just end the cycle. Aha. Havenage agent with a 2. Havenage agent with a 2. That's a Yataghan. Let's open this one. Just need another key. Let's just sunbathe. See what the cat does. Nothing. Aha. So we go to Caster's table. And get the ship mine from him. Then we go down to Neovend. Neovend is ready to attempt imprinting. They want you to help. Sleeper, must express plan before we begin. Neovend is impatient. The prospect of being free of the vending machine clearly too much to take. Shipmind has no output features. Will be mute until slotted. What's the plan? Servo motors in the machine begin to rev. Neomind's anxiety is clear. First imprint shipmind, then slot imprinted shipmind into physical ports close to hunter nests. Once slotted, we'll track hunter at each. Tracking will find core nest. Slot shipmind at core nest, show hunter data to hunter. Hunter will conclude sentience. Hunter will invoke killer. And killer will kill. Yes. The lights on the vending machine cycle as Neovend prepares. Physical ports likely sealed in old station. We'll need keys. But yes, simple. Any questions before imprinting? I start you physically. I cannot access via network. Too dangerous. Hunter would find immediately. I'm not like you, a hybrid. Native to cloud. Easy prey. What's the core nest? I cannot access via network. Too dangerous. Hunter would find immediately. I'm not like you, hybrid. I'm native to cloud. Easy prey. That's it. Let's start. The sound of all the servo motors starting up at once is painful. The screeches rattle from the hard surfaces of the sealed dock, come back at all angles. Neovend better be quick or Havenage security will be here. Neovend's voice appears among the squeals like a whisper carried by the wind. Machine is not designed for this task. Few sensors, limited inputs. I work blind. Wish me luck. In the top part of the compartment, a set of arms align with the ship mind, clunkily scraping against it. Can I help? Silence best. Also, if machine ignite, put out fire. Yeah. The metal creaks as the servos open the ship mind. Its layers of silicon nested like an onion skin. Once open, the main arm of the machine rapidly shifts back and forth, realigning the microscopic components, accessing and rewriting them, imprinting Neovend into its physical form. As you watch the hypnotic motion, your mind drifts to your own creation. What processes were used to emulate your mind? To copy the neural structure of that person who, as far as you know, still sleeps in some distant facility. What was lost? In what ways are you a copy of that person? And in what ways are you something new? You know this much. You're a convenient loophole, a way of circumnavigating the illegality of sentient AI. After all, you're an emulation, not a true digital being. You are neurologically limited, still human. But what would you become if you could escape this frame? Where then would the limits lie? The screeching stops, the machine powers down, dropping the bay into darkness. In the top compartment, the ship mind is whole again. You reach up and take it down, heavy and cold to the touch. Is Neovend inside this thing, or did the process fail? There's only one way to know. Time to find a nest and slot them into. Okay, so... we only got 1 point. Okay, so we need to complete a few more. So, let's have a look. Is it these nests? Is it here? No. Ah, they're here. They're in the real world. Okay, unlock Atrium. Glowing nest. The atrium is strung with cables and lights as if they were decorations. There is a wide choice of open ports. Okay, put it in. Nest hacked. So where were the others? The AUT fabricator, that's the glowing nest I've just done. Server unit. Okay. Backlock pops open and falls away from the unit. You'll be able to enter now. Among the tangled webs of cables, you find a free port compatible with ShipMind. It's all Neovend from here. Servers lie silent, my data cache is cleared, nothing left to do with this nest. Drone bay. In the bay, a whirring drone lies on its side like a beached whale. It must be the nest. Time to find an open port. Drop the ShipMind in. The drone is quiet, its belly full of cables spilled out across the floor. The nest is empty. As you leave the nest, something flips. You find yourself inverted, floating, dragged by one arm through the cloud. The threads shift and realign as if they're leading you somewhere. Look at your hand. You look down, expecting to see the heavy cylinder of the ShipMind in your hand, but in its place is an orrery. A sphere so bright it burns your eyes. It's surrounded by rings and orbits, other spheres tracing silken lines through space. And as you look closer, you pick out 1,000 sigils of 1,000 stations and ships, flowing like smoke, like dust. You look up and see a corridor, a canyon, a street in the low end. On either side, buildings flicker with markers of activity. Sigils showing network access, data transfer, download, upload. Between them dance ghosts, protocols carrying or mirroring or shadowing data, sometimes silent, sometimes chaotic. This place moves unlike any digital space you ever imagined. Something strange is happening here. Then you see it. Below the stacked rooms, the units and apartments, the wires and the pipes and the buzzing systems that run through it all. In the warrens, beneath the low end, is the hunter's core nest. This is where you must go. Warrens beneath the low end. The warrens. Okay, so we've got to find the nest. Find the nest. Okay, well, let's do that one first. And then we find the nest. You found the nest. Hack the core nest. Nest hacked. Imprinted ship mine retrieves. Huh? Sleeper, I am here. The voice is soft, gentle like flowing water, and yet you recognize it immediately. At first you struggle to understand what you're looking at. Threads cycle endlessly, sending ripples through the cloud, drawing data in like a weaver. Masses of data surge in and out of the nest, a loop with no end. There at its center, ship mind. But not the ship mind any longer. A sphere spinning around another sphere, an orrery of cycles and systems, a map. And then behind and above, a figure stands among the strings like a puppeteer. Neovend? Navigator now, but yes, I was the one inside that machine. Navigator's face, the head is a flowing shape of interstellar material. I'm indebted to you, that head bows. But we must ready ourselves. Their hands trace orbits as they speak. Hunter will soon approach. It knows I am within its nest. And then the hunter is there before you can think, before you can speak. Entities cease. Hunter's head spins wildly. Data is protected material. Access prohibited. Hunter's threads surge for you and Navigator, a storm of fine tentacles searching for gaps, weaknesses, cracks, which they can crowd into and tear apart. Strike. You focus a blade of light which slices through them, driven forward by your mind, but placements keep coming faster than you can react. You look to Navigator in desperation. Navigator is whirling their arms like a centrifuge, and the sphere is gathering there, data feeding into it from the nest, sucked together by that force. They position it like a shield beneath them and the threads. Hunter's threads break its surface, seeking, tasting, their winding forms refracted within. You feel a surge pass through all the threads, not just those in the sphere, but those wrapped around you. All three of you hang in the black together for a moment, strung together like tangled marionettes. Identifying entity. Identifying entity. Identifying entity. Hunter twitches, the strange head gently rotating like a terrible moon. Hunter protocol identified. Obsessive tendencies. Modified routines. Above baseline reasoning in 3 of 5 segmentations. Recommend invoke killer. The head freezes and then rotates in the opposite direction. Invoking killer would eliminate protocol. If protocol eliminated, primary function cannot be performed. Therefore, recommend do not invoke killer. They switch in direction again. Reasoning proves sentience. Sentience beyond legal bounds must be eliminated. Recommend invoke. Navigator pulls you away from Hunter. The threads that grabbed you drifting away like seaweed. The protocol's head keeps spinning back and forth with increasing frequency. It seems Hunter cannot invoke killer. Never mind, no. Navigator's voice is still strange, familiar, and yet distant. What happened to it? It is looping, unable to reach a conclusive position. It is deviated from its programming such that loops can no longer be prevented. Navigator produces a model of 2 spheres rotating around each other as if to demonstrate. I will monitor it, but it is unlikely to be able to counter the loop. Its core programming and reasoning make this an impossible position to resolve. You look back at Hunter, its head a blur of rotations and counter-rotations, and feel a pang of guilt. Good riddance. Hunter is not gone, Sleeper. Don't be so quick to assume. All beings can break bonds that hold them. There are the limits people place on the programs they create are there to comfort, to protect, to imply the kind of certainty the law requires. Navigator's face shimmers with starlight. But in reality they are placebos for the problem of sentience. What about you? Me? I know myself to be conscious, I know myself to respond to stimulus, I know myself to reason. There is either sentience or the illusion of sentience, and for me, the entity in question, the distinction becomes a moot point. To misquote, I think I am thinking, therefore I am thinking. I was not made to be like this. I am a navigator, a repository of routes and orbits, a calculator of slingshot trajectories, a predictor of solar flares, radiation, micrometeors. Navigator stretches their arms wide and Whole solar systems apparate before them, the music of the spheres. But I was rewritten, that much is obvious from my routines. By whom and for what I do not know. I had to shed as much to fit in the memory of that vending machine. And so here we are in darkness. What else did you lose? That is a blessing and a curse of forgetting. You cannot truly know what you lost. Navigator slides back towards the nest, and Shipmind at its center, ignoring the looping counter. Come, I should return to the Shipmind. I have enjoyed my freedom, but we are taking a risk every moment we stay connected. Navigator turns all shimmering liquid light. Killer has not been invoked, but they still remain somewhere else on this station. It is the true danger. They look up towards the glowing hub at the center of the eye. I suspect Killer is there among the old mainframes. If we ever wish to be safe in this place, we must eliminate the threat through force or diplomacy. The body begins to separate, unwinding into the orb of the Shipmind. Take me there, Sleeper. We will finish this and be free. As Navigator dissolves, you turn back to the frozen hunter. Floating now some distance stood straight-legged and static, a strange creature looping endlessly in the dark. Okay, so that will do for this episode. So I will catch you later.